both on the court and the marketing sense. But I do think same thing with folks that may have fallen in love with Angel Reese that may or may not have agreed with everything they had to say either. We attach our fandom to these icons for all types of reasons, and sometimes they may not be based in all truth.
Did you see the strategy of the white liberal woman?
I seen it.
That was there to spur on the race baiting. Why though? Why? Why have all these fans come to see Caitlyn? Why? And she's trying to lob up a softball, play the race card, Monica McNutt. And this is where I'm going to defend Monica McNutt. There's that kernel and element of truth that Caitlyn Clark and all the little suburban white girls that have hopped on board with the WNBA have hopped on board because Caitlyn Clark she resonates with them more so than and I'm just generalizing here, than the angry Black lesbians who dominate the WNBA. And I'm not saying all the Black lesbians in the WNBA are angry. Not all of them are. But there's a high percentage of them, and they all like to get in front of a microphone and express their anger and demonize whiteness. The entire league went head over heels for Black Lives Matter. They've gone head over heels for all the mark. And so, yes, have parents in suburbia and little girls in suburbia said, hey, I can relate to Caitlyn Clark. Look at her nuclear family. Look at her Catholic nuclear family. She's like us. She has a boyfriend. And so there's a lot of parents that feel real comfortable taking their kids to a game who their daughters are athletes. And they're like, hey, you can be heterosexual and play in the WNBA. Look at Caitlyn Clark. She's got a boyfriend. Her parents are still married. She's not playing with anger. She's not playing with a sense of entitlement. And yes, people find that relatable. And Monica McNutt with the liberal white woman here, they're not prepared to have that conversation that there's a demographic filled with anger and entitlement and a victimhood mentality that people, regardless of color, who are not filled with anger, who are not filled with entitlement, who are not filled with a victimhood mentality, they like Caitlyn Clark because she's not a victim, because she doesn't seem to be entitled, because she doesn't seem to be angry. And so they find her relatable. I do. And I don't like everything Caitlyn Clark does. I certainly didn't like her bowing to the Yas Queens and talking about it's her job to uplift Black women. Because that ain't her job. And she's lying and doing the cosplay, and she knows she doesn't want to do it, but she wants to satisfy the angry Black lesbians that seem to run this league. And no one wants to talk about the fact that the WNBA culture is ruled by angry Black lesbians. And that they've run other heterosexual Black women out of the league. This is pervasive in this basketball culture. And so it's Monica McNutt and the white liberal woman who's baiting her and lobbing her softballs. There's a discussion that they don't want to have, that this wasn't on an ESPN platform. This is just on a podcast platform. But on ESPN nor on a podcast platform do people want to talk about the personality traits that turn off the average sports fan. And when they see someone who they believe is the antithesis of those personality traits, they latch on to them. And then when you add in that she shoots logo threes, passes the ball like Magic Johnson and Pistol Pete Maravich, scores a lot of points, leads the league in assists, that like she's a great, great player and she plays and shoots and releases the ball like Steph Curry. So there's the attraction to the exciting style of play. She's not Angel Reese, who can barely make a layup. She's not Asia Wilson, who is 6'4" or 6'5" and completely unrelatable to most women. You know what percentage of women are 6'4" or 6'5"? It's a tiny, 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 infinitesimal percentage. That's not relatable. And so they can keep, oh, Asia Wilson should be centered and they should be celebrating her. And all the little white girls should want to be like Asia Wilson. Little black girls don't want to be like Asia Wilson. What woman wants to be 6'5"? And I'm not trying to make Asia Wilson feel bad about seeing 6'5". God made her that way. But let's don't kid ourselves and pretend like, hey, when you're 6'5", that's not relatable when you're a woman. Caitlin Clark is 6 foot, 5'11". I would tend to think maybe 3% of women are 6 foot or above, but it's a lot easier for a 5'7" girl to relate to a 6 foot girl than it is a 6'5" woman who's angry and whose best friend is some transgender man that thinks he's a woman and who walks around preaching to little white girls, you got a privilege and you don't have to work as hard as me and you don't have to do as much as me. But they can't have that discussion. And so they keep it real simple. And they give simplistic answers because they're not willing to have the true discussion about why Caitlin Clark is so popular. She reflects values that are relatable to kids who come from two-parent homes. That's regardless of color. Kids that come from two-parent homes can relate to Caitlin Clark because they have more in common with her values and the way she presents herself. They're not filled with animus because they don't know who their daddy is. I'm sorry for keeping it that real, but it is that real. They're not filled with animus because their mom didn't grow up telling them, your daddy ain't doo-doo. And F these men, you don't need no man. This is what these single black mamas do. They inject their animus into their seeds. And then they wonder, why is my daughter so angry? How come she can't find a man? How come she can't keep a man? How come she don't want a man? How come she's bisexual or lesbian? You made her that way. And no one wants to talk about it. So perhaps Caitlin Clark is relatable and popular and people want to see her play because she's exciting as heck to watch.
Yep.
And because she's not filled with anger. People are attracted to joy.
Yep.
Why was Magic Johnson so popular? Black, white, whatever. The man played with joy. Biggest smile on his face, happy-go-lucky Magic Johnson. Everybody loved him. You get the energy that you put out. You put out this angry, entitled, I'm mad at the world energy. People aren't attracted to you other than other angry, entitled people. So we're moving into Kate hate season. Everybody's looking for their relevance through Caitlin Clark. I am right now. I like talking about Caitlin Clark. Yes, she pissed me off this offseason, but I like talking about her because what she represents, the conversation she sparks, speaks to the larger culture. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button.
All right. So no, he really broke down the rawness, the realness, the frankness of the situation. Caitlin Clark, the fact that she's kind, she comes from the two-parent household, she can do everything like he said, pass like magic. She played with a joy. She played with a passion. She's serious about her stuff. So it's all of those things you can take. All those positivities. It's clear to see why she's loved. So when we see these people who race bait, we gotta call them to the table. From all of those analysts, from the Caddy K's, because that was a setup. And I've been saying this to y'all forever, that this shit's been scripted to sabotage Caitlin Clark. It's been a script out. The memo has been handed out. This is what we own. And if you want to get on or be in this media space alone from ESPN or whatever the case may be, you speak ill will about her being black. And you got to be a black woman. It's really all black women. Ain't that a coincidence? You don't hear no white women saying none of this shit that the black women say. That's coincidence. That don't usually happen in sports. Everybody don't have the same take on the same shit for the same person all the time. No. You're going to have different. You're going to have white people chiming in, black people chiming in, saying they dislikes or they likes for every player that they cover. But you don't hear no white women on no panels of ESPN, never, because they don't want to put them in that light of saying ill shit about Caitlin Clark. They want to keep the separation cracking with the race baiting shit, so they put all black women on there and then give them the topic and, hey, this is the stance y'all need to take. And they take it because they want to get paychecks.
And stay on that good side. Yep.
They take it because they want to get. They don't believe none of the shit they see or they say, because they see exactly what we see. But again, sometimes you will lie to yourself so long and so much that you'll start believing your lies. Right? You start believing your lies. That you create, coming up with, and then that's where you become delusional. That's where you become delulu. And so the angry black lesbian part 2, like, people have to understand, and it's not him bashing the lesbian community, the lesbian women and whatnot. Shout out to Blossoms in the building too, and Texas the Truth, pretty no girl. But shout out to Blossoms. I ain't seen you in a minute, GB. What's going on? How you been? I know you've been at the Boston Celtics games and things like that, but good to see you again. So again, man, the angry black lesbian talk, how the league runs, the black angry lesbian runs the league for the most part of the WNBA. So of course, that's why we should be able to see, oh yeah, that's why y'all hating on this girl, because she's straight, she white, she dominating y'all. And even if you're a black person, if you're not an angry black lesbian yourself, then you should be able to see that, oh, they hating on that girl because they ain't that girl.
And there you go. Run that back. Oh, I don't think they heard that. Run that back. They hate
They hating on that girl because they ain't that girl.
Yep.
Point blank, period. They hate on her because they ain't her, man. They can't do what she do. They clueless to it. They like, damn. But it's everything what Jason Whitlock just explained. You can't relate to no 6'4" giant ass woman. Who the fuck? How the fuck me and you supposed to lay together and you 6'4" around this motherfucker? Huh? How I'm supposed to lay with you and you 6'4" and I'm 6'4"? That ain't happening.
And I'm 5'7". What I supposed to do?
Can't lay with you. You got an ankle injury. I got an ankle injury. We can't function. You understand me? And so he was spot on when he said it's not relatable. When you not only is you not relatable just from a look standpoint, because that's kind of, hey, that's not a number.
Yeah.
And so, people, man, yeah, but that fucking Zoo Nation, right? Okay, you belong in that zoo. What are you doing here? Yeah, see, Angel Reese, see, you trying to look sexy, bitch. You 6'4". You trying to look sexy and paint all this makeup, and you still 6'4", baby.
Still 6'4" the other day.
What are you doing? Yeah, we don't want you. Yeah, sorry. You know, he's got to climb on chairs to hit his doggy style. That ain't even, I can't even get my full motion because I'm on the chair. I'm on the ladder.
I'm jumping off the dresser, man. What are we doing?
But I can't even get my full stroke properly because I'm jumping off the. Yeah, nah, man.
Hey, y'all, this Pope in real life, too. Don't think it's just him on the internet. This is him in real life. These guys are cats. Now, this guy's a real cat, okay? So, y'all don't know that, too. This ain't just him on the internet. This is him in real life. Pope is a whole goddamn, yeah.
Yeah, but we just keep it frank, man. So, I felt it when he said, yeah, she's not relatable. But then on top of, this is what kills it all. This is what makes it hurt. Because the truth hurts. This will make it hurt. Not only is you 6'4" and you're not relatable in the standpoint of that, Angel Reese, Asia Wilson, y'all not even likable. Y'all don't even have the right personalities and the right professionalism that you go about your everyday life to where you can at least be relatable. And that, like AB 6'5", but at least she a sweetheart, right? So a lot of people love AB because she come off as she's sweet, she's genuine, so on and so forth, right? She funny, she outgoing, she come off like that. So people love AB, even though she's 6'5". But yeah, you got to at least have some type of a good personality about yourself. What do you think about that? About them not being like you? A 6'5".
Totally agree. And look, I'm not really with the race thing, but as being a black man, I totally agree because it is okay. The chat, y'all don't kill me because damn, there's none of y'all in here. Don't kill me for this chat. But it is a lot of more of us that's not relatable for that reason. The attitudes, the sticking their nose up, the it's certain traits that it don't make them relatable. It's like, oh my God, how can I like you? But that's another reason I said with the Sophie Cunningham. I wasn't a fan of the DeWanna Bonner because she pushed my girl CC. I wasn't a fan of her, but listening to her talk and do her little 2 interviews, whatever she did, I kind of relate to it more. You know, you might be a sweetheart, but that's Sophie Cunningham, and that who else we got new? I think that election. Oh my God, our election not new, but they so relatable. That's why they will get the not NIL deals. That's why they will get certain brand deals, and people will want to deal with them because of their personality, the smiles, it jump off genuine. It don't come off as I'm not gonna say angry black. It don't come off as an angry woman. It gives, yes, people can relate. So what I've had learned about this WNBA is a lot of these, not a lot, well, it could be a lot, we can't relate to because of the attitude, because of the angry black mentality, because of maybe I did miss my father, maybe because of whatever reason. It's like, yeah, you just another bitch from the hood. You just this. You just, yeah. I can't watch her. Same with Angel. She come off like that. I can't watch her podcast for these reasons. Versus anything she do, click. If Sophie was doing, click, because they're relatable. I want to watch. It's going to be good conversation. Their energy is going to bounce off the screen, showing me everything is good. So when it comes to that, to the energy and not relatable part, it is a reason why certain women are relatable, certain women are liked, certain women get this attention, certain women don't. So it's a reason. It's a reason